Hi guys, part 121 here with my impression on Once Human. I'll start by saying Once Human could definitely be a good game. Once Human definitely feels like a good game. You open up the game and definitely get a good feeling. At least for me it was like this. I opened up the game and instantly clicked with it. This felt very odd for me because usually I get anxiety playing a new game. I just feel overwhelmed by the learning process and its learning curves, and all this contributes to my fear of being disappointed or being overexcited of something that in the end wasn't even worth my time. Well, please imagine this whole process, but exactly the other way around for Once Human. Imagine not feeling excited at all. Imagine not caring if the game has any impact on me. And instead of getting anxious, imagine feeling like everything falls in place. Like everything just fits and feels like the more you play, the more it takes shape, and the more it takes shape, the more you want to discover it. In essence, the game starts amazingly good. Its first minutes would almost make me say it's nothing near close to a free-to-play game if it weren't for some obvious elements that mostly come from its future mobile side. It definitely captivated my attention with its cutscenes. They were on point for a free-to-play game and weren't too many or too long to interrupt the gameplay, which made me enjoy the game more in its beginning. Just felt like the start of the game was perfectly combining the amount of story development with gameplay, and that actually left me amazed more than once. Everything felt right until this 180 degrees scenery change. This was meant to be the way the game is going to discontinue the intro part and introduce us to the full game. Instead, for me, it felt like the moment the game ended and some kind of weird incomprehensible journey began. It was at this moment when I noticed the first element that made me say, "What the heck?" By this I mean the bird, if you pay attention to it. And my attention deficit disorder definitely did. It's never going to stop clapping its wings insanely fast, and that is just disrupting for me during the otherwise nice cutscene. Then, exiting the house and taking contact with the world for the first time also had a negative impact on me. At the beginning, there were definitely moments in which I was amazed by the game graphics once the tutorial part ended and I was set free into the game's world. All the graphic elements near me felt worse than a free-to-play game, though. The immediate surrounding just felt like I'm playing a game from the 2000s with a bad graphics mode to bring it up to date when it comes to graphics. There were still some nice visual impacting fight scenes though. Like this one with the zombie just exploding in my face. This for me got me thrilled for a few seconds. When it comes to mechanics, the game is pretty much lacking again. You have two options of aiming. One, third person, and a second one, first person. Neither of them is more satisfying for me than using just the melee third person combat. So if the game is made to be a shooter but leaves a better impact on me when it comes to melee gameplay, then what's the point, right? Boss fights, they definitely are in the game. They do exist, but that's about it. They just are there. Like all the other things in the game, like the mobs, they just stay in place. Have no sort of AFK animation, no sort of interaction with the game until they start recklessly attacking, and even then they feel disconnected. Sometimes being unsure if they need to engage you or just stay in one place. If you just ran past them without you engaging them. Same with boss fights, they just are. They just, they have phases, they have animations, they have mechanics, sort of, but nothing feels connected. Everything feels just as if you were playing a mobile game in which you selected 1 out of 3 dialogue options that revealed a scene that isn't even being played by you, even though it should be. Just feels like that, like, you know, those mobile games or internet browser games in which you just, I don't know, it's just about the story and you have to select, do I like this thing, do I not like this thing, do I reply angry, and so on, and then whatever option you're choosing, the character is going to do some sort of different cutscene. The game is going to present some sort of different cutscene, as if it were a sort of gameplay. Just felt like this game felt entirely like this for me. Just felt like I was selecting something to be done, and then it wasn't me doing it. It was like my character was doing it without me, or it was like my character was doing it without any impact on its environment in any way. In immediate scenery, immediate environment, you know? But anyway, in the end, I just feel like nothing in the game is taking any sort of form, not for me at least. If I start building, I start wondering why I'm doing so, even though I like building. Even though building in this game isn't the worst compared to other newly released not free-to-play games, but it still makes me feel like I don't see the reason to build anything because my base and building just isn't connected to the game in itself. If I start farming, I just notice the mobile elements when it comes to graphics, and there is no satisfaction in that for me. If I start grinding my way through the story, it just feels like someone already played it before me and I'm just replaying it with no interaction whatsoever. This pretty much sums it up for me, but I'll do say that the game does one thing for sure perfectly, and that is the shop. The shop has so many variations of nice things that you can get. It's really overwhelming. It almost got me to buy one or two things if I didn't say, hey, wait, let's just play a bit more and then decide if we're really going to invest time in this game. Other than this, I have nothing more to say, so I'll just say part 121 out. Bye-bye, and thank you for your time. GG's.